everybody, it's Lynn Meyer, the HRT coach, and you know what it is. It's Men Cry in the Car, and we're back. We're back with another episode, another interview. We have Jay Mosley getting ready to come on. I just want to talk about, once again, Men Cry in the Car. We appreciate your support, but we need more of it. We need you to share it out. We need you to subscribe. Let us know your comments, your questions, all of the things. Men Cry in the Car is a podcast, a space, a place for men to be seen, heard, and supported. So that's what we do. We want you to come in. We want you to share. We want you to invite. We want you to watch the replays, all the things, because you guys, this is your tribe. This is your community. Wives, I'm a wife, I know. Wives, share this with your husband, your children, your nephews, your uncles, everybody. And learn to be quiet and let them speak. Okay? I know that's hard for us, but be quiet and let them speak because they are tired of crying in the car. So I'm going to bring on Jay Mosley. He is an author, he is a speaker, he is also a mental health advocate. I believe he said that. If I'm wrong, he will correct me. I actually have the privilege and honor to share a space with Jay. We are in the Next Level Speak Academy. And so we may talk about that a little bit too. I know he has a story to tell because, y'all, let me tell y'all, I've been trying to get him on for so long. Not his fault, my fault, but he's here today. So let me bring him to the stage. Let's bring Jay Mosley to the stage. Hey, I can't hear you.
How about now?
Yes. Awesome. So you're there. I'm so happy. You know, I just want to say again, my apologies. Like for all of this, I was like, oh my God, it was just crazy. But I'm so glad you are here today. Now, with that being said, please tell me and the people that will be watching us, who is Jay Mosley?
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for having me on your platform. First of all, I'm Jay Mosley. I'm an author, speaker, mental health advocate, mental wellness advocate, father, single father four. And yeah, that is me in a nutshell. I'm excited to be here this afternoon.
He said that was me in a nutshell. I know there's a lot more we can talk about, but where I want to start today is I saw a picture you sent over, and I was just like, I really want to get into this because you had your t-shirt. I believe this is your brand, and it just caught my eye. And first of all, had I not seen this or asked you to be on the show, if I saw these words, you good, bro, that would stop me in my tracks. Tell me a little bit about you good, bro. What was the idea? What made you come up with that? What made you ask the question? You good, bro?
Man, you're good, bro. It started a little bit after the pandemic. So it was during the time where everything wasn't good, basically. I was frustrated, complaining, honestly, after coming out of the pandemic. You know, I was seeing so much in regards to women and not knocking women whatsoever. So don't take it there. Just saying I just seen women empowerment, women brunches, sisterhood circles, healing spaces, tribes and communities being built. And I was clapping, applauding for that, but I kept thinking, like, where's the brotherhood? Where are the conversation that men are having? Because, aren't we depressed? Aren't we aren't we going through some things? You know what I'm saying? So, and one day I was just literally visiting a guy, like, man, like, when one of these leaders going to do something or have a men's conference or a summit or something? And I was like, when is one of these, church leaders going to step up? And it was just like, I was just asking myself, and God was like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? So what are you doing about it? Are you going to sit complain about it and be part of the problem, or are you going to be part of the solution? And I was like, you know what? Got to be part of the solution. And shout out to Dr. Jay Barnett, because I got the idea from him. He was doing a worldwide tour called Just Heal, Bro. And he was going around in different spaces and just having men gather, and they're talking about mental health. And I was like, wow, Just Heal, Bro. Like, that's a very, very dope conference. A very, very dope, way to get men together and talk about your mental health. And I was like, Just Heal, Bro is good. That's like, but when men, like, oftentimes when I ask men, "Are you good?" We give the politically correct answer, like, "Yeah, I'm good." But "you good, bro," can stem from that. Like, bro, I really want to know, are you good? Like, how's
Right.
your mental health? How's your mental wellness? Like, are you really taking time out for self care? Like, are you really good? Or are you pulling up in the driveway and I wanting to get out the car? Like, what I'm saying? Let's talk about it. What's going on? So that's where you good, bro, stem from.
And so during the pandemic, and that was happening with women empowerment and all that you said,
Hmm.
I'm gonna turn it around and ask you, were you good, bro? What was going on with you?
During that time, I can honestly, because during that time, a lot of people lost their jobs. So America, America was shut down. I still had employment. Our kids were still intact. I was doing things like I was working out. I had a little community where we were checking in with each other, where we do daily or by daily workouts. Also, I was reading. I would stay grounded. Um, because I had just before the pandemic, I wasn't. I can understand I wasn't, but during it, I came out. I was okay. I could honestly say okay. So that's where like it came from. Like I wanted to do something for others because there was a time when I was in a dark place and I really wanted to talk to men who were also dealing with things as well. But during the pandemic, I could say I was good.
Okay. And usually when you are able to see that there's a need for it, um, that is a time where you can say, like you said, let me be part of this solution.
Right.
The times where you were not good, tell me about that.
Okay. So back in 2018, I had a very, very bad like accident. I was doing like a demolition job at an old grocery store. I was my dad had found a job and was just helping out a friend and was clearing out this grocery store. And so I decided like I was gonna chop down this copper line that was in the roof of the grocery store. And I stepped in a place that didn't have a platform and I fell through the roof actually. And when I fell through the roof, luckily there was like a metal stand that kind of broke my fall. Because if it didn't, I would have snapped my neck. I would have went head first into the concrete floor. But during that time, I had a concussion. I had punctured lungs, 7 broken ribs. My collar had broke my collarbone. I was in a really, really dark place because that was like the first time in a long time when I came home, I had to be without my kids. See, I'm a single father. Father had went through divorce, and I was custodial parent of 3 kids at the time,
Mm.
and it was just a lot dealing with not being able to do for them. That just did something to me as a parent, and having to depend on others to do things for me. And during that time when you're in the dark places, you have time to reflect and time to think on yourself. And I was really, 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 really in a dark place. And about maybe 6 or 7 months during that time frame, I started seeking therapy. And through therapy is when I came out of that slump and came out of that funk. And,
Mm.
going through therapy. And from there, that's when, I was like, wow, if I'm going through this, if I wasn't really talking to no one, let them know how I was feeling, say how many other men are doing the same thing. So I was like, let me do something for the person who I was back then. So
Mhm.
that's when I wasn't good.
Okay. And ugh, for so many reasons you weren't good physically, emotionally, all of that. First of
Hmm.
all, before I get into the emotional part, how long did you have to go through like healing your body, the rehabilitation or like surgeries or whatever you had to do? How long was that process?
Oh, that process was about 4 to 6 months.
My God.
Yeah, 4 to 6 months.
Okay.
Physically, yeah. See, it's
Right.
more
Physically. Okay. 4 to 6 months physically. And then as you were going through this, you were doing this alone because you weren't married at the time, correct?
correct. Hmm.
Okay. So what does that look like for a father of four now not able to take care of his family physically because this accident happened? What was going on with you mentally or emotionally? What was happening at that time?
Mentally, because typical most men they're providers. You know what I'm saying? So, not being able, I'm not gonna say necessarily just provide because it would, had reserves and savings and things of that nature, but not being there physically, for my kids and not being able to take them to school, not being able to cook for them, not like I do all the things that that some single mothers do, but mentally just feeling worthless, not feeling like a man, because I was just laid up and just, couldn't move around and having to wait on people to do things for me.
Mhm.
That's like mentally not being able to do for yourself. That just makes you feel less than. And so I was having all these thoughts of like, that wasn't my natural thoughts. Like I never felt like that before ever in life, ever.
Mhm.
But at that time, it was just like, wow, like, man, I'm just really just down on myself. And I had a
Mhm.
conversation with, I believe I was like maybe about 4 months into that, I've had a conversation with my oldest daughter, who's a sophomore at University of North Texas in Denton. And, I was just checking on, she called me and she's like, I just checking on you there, make sure you, I told her at the time, like, I really was down. She was like, why are you down? Like, I'm just sorry that I'm like failing you guys. And I know you guys used to have your own space. You guys still the grandparents now. And she was like, Dad, we're good. It's like the things that you taught us and the thing how you raised us, like we're using those things now to keep one another up and keep one another, in a good mind frame. So it's like, even though I wasn't present with them, my presence was still effective in their life. So that was everything. I mean, that's kind of where the ball started turning a little bit. Okay, like you
Yeah.
did do like your work did something. So that's when things started going. I was like, okay, let me get myself together mentally.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so now I'm in your business. Who is actually taking care of you?
At the time, I had my mom. My
Mhm.
mom was coming, and my younger son's mom. She was come by here and there, but for the most part, it was just me and my thoughts. Like I would just get up and try to, how men were stubborn. Like you don't want to call people. I didn't have anybody to stand with me, taking care of me. But like they just came when, want to stop and drop off food and things like that. But
Mhm.
for the most part, I was getting up and trying to do things on my own, even though I was in pain. But
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
that was it. Those were my caretakers at the time.
Mhm. Now take me back to that time.
Mm.
Most days, what were your thoughts? What were you thinking? What were you going through?
Most days, like most when you can't do for yourself or you can't operate or function like you're so used to. So most days there were thoughts like you're, you're not, you're useless or
Mhm.
like, bro, look at you. Like, how did you get here? Then, looking over your life, looking over, I went through this divorce. Like, what happened? Like, why wasn't I able to sustain a marriage? And before that, I had lost a job. Like, you had, you got laid off. And like, oh, you're not good enough to keep a job. So, all these things are like going through your head, and you're just sitting here laying like, oh, your kids are not with you. Like, you're not good enough to, maintain as a father to provide and protect your kids, and you just sitting up and laid up, and like you made the decision to go on this roof and look at you, like all these negative thoughts, like you're just playing back your life, not knowing that it's your past and your future is still ahead of you. So during that time, like all these thoughts from your past creep in, and and so misery, misery loves company. So these thoughts were just coming and coming and coming, and until I had that conscious interrupt, until I got into therapy, that's when things changed. But before then, it was just dark times or those thoughts,
Yeah.
those negative thoughts.
I could see that being very dark times, even though you didn't wake up one morning and say, you know what? I think I'm gonna have an accident and just completely like just turn my life upside down. Yep, that's the day
Exactly.
for it. Yep, today is the day for it. So our
Yeah.
mind has this way of saying like making us second guess ourselves. I mean, like being so negative because of course that's nothing that you thought to say,
Hmm.
yeah, let me put this in my life. Let me go and like just like I said, flip my life upside down. Let me do something to myself to where my children have to be with their grandparents. You know,
Hmm.
the mind is crazy. You said that was a dark place. How dark, I don't want to say did it actually get, but how dark was it for you? And like, I know your thoughts, but like what was your darkest, lowest, deepest place in that moment or in that time frame?
It got pretty dark. And I never got to the point where I thought about harming myself or anything to that nature.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just more so like self doubt, no seeing the future, no vision whatsoever. Just being at the current state that I was in, just sitting there thinking that I'm not worth anything. Like that's to me. I'm just speaking as a man. To me, like being in that particular mindset where you don't think you're worth anything, and that you're not gonna heal anytime soon, and you have people taking care of you. Like for me, that just did something to me mentally. Like that was the darkest point. Like you have somebody that has to come feed you or has to take care of your responsibilities as far as like, making sure the bills are paid and things of that nature. Like that's for me, that was my darkest moments.
Mm-hmm. There is not a trend, but there's a common denominator or similarity, new mouth, in men talking about being a provider, a protector.
Hmm.
Um, who was that for you? Because you keep talking about it. Who showed you that? Was it your dad? Was your grandfather? Was your uncle? Like, who taught you to be the provider, the supporter, the all of that?
Um, I would say my dad. My mother and my father been married over 45 years. So
Mm,
seeing him how he was a provider, my dad wasn't much of the nurturing type. He was like, you put your hat on, your boots on, you go to work. So we never went there without clothes. We never went without food. He provided for us. So we're just seeing that modeling. Like kids don't typically do what you say; they do what they see. You know what I'm saying? So that being modeled in front of me, that was where I got it from. Like being that provider for your family to make sure they don't go without.
mm-hmm. And so then you have this accident, and then here we are. Okay, I want to know about what was the time frame when you went into therapy? Because you're like, I went through this. This is what happened. My children had to stay here. People had to
Mhm.
take care of me. I was in a dark space and place. Now I'm deciding to go to therapy. It's a twofold. When did you decide to go, and what made you go?
It goes back to the conversation I had with my daughter. When she told me that they were doing okay, that they were fine, and that things that I taught them and how I raised them, helped them get through that time as well. It just something clicked in me. It was like, okay, if they're being positive, why am I sitting here sulking? I was like, I'm not helping anyone being in this mind frame or this mindset. So from there in that conversation, that prompted me like, okay, what can I do to better myself? What can I do to get myself in the right frame of mind? And the only thing I could think of was talking to somebody. So with that being said, I was like, you know what? Let me speak to a therapist. So I reached out to my local church, and they were able to assign me someone that was able to help me through that time.
Mm-hmm. And so, how long did you go? Or are you still in therapy?
I'm still in therapy now, but it's with a different therapist. But ever
Mm-hmm.
since then, I've been locked in with therapy. I think everyone, I highly recommend therapy for anyone.
Okay, I want to hear about that. You highly recommend therapy for anyone. I want you to talk a little bit about, um, I guess, your outcomes of going to therapy and the reason why you highly recommend that.
My coming to therapy, I realized that it's okay to talk. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like really okay to talk. And it's so much as men that we keep inside. Most trauma comes from childhood anyway. So we've had things that went on as kids, like, big boys don't cry. You know what I'm saying? That's the place where we come from. So, and just understanding through therapy, not only am I able to talk, I'm able to unpack any past trauma. I'm able to express how I feel and what I was feeling. And there's no judgment, there's no judgment whatsoever. It's a safe space for me to talk and heal. So it's a good for the soul for you to get out the things that you've been dealing with, and for someone to professionally there, analyze what you're going through and give you the tools and resources to help you move forward.
So, if you are to like, because it sounds like you're advocating for people to go to therapy.
Absolutely.
Yes, it gives you a space to talk. It gives you a space to be heard,
Mm-hmm.
supported in all the things. What was something that you got from therapy that you did not think you would get from it?
Um, well, of course, I had the stigma, before I even went in, because what goes in this house stays in this house. So being vulnerable to tell someone what you're thinking or what you've been through or what happened to you, and them not judge you. I'm thinking that people may call you weak, or people may say you're soft, but it's totally not the case. Having emotions is a human. It's human. It's just like, I'm saying, that everyone has them, and it's
Mhm.
okay to be express yourself. It's okay to talk. It's not weak so whatsoever. It actually gives you power because you're able to talk about it and be vulnerable and be able to, as they say, be emotionally intelligent enough to understand that your past traumas or whatever you're going through at your current state, if you're going through something, that it's okay to just get with someone that can not only listen to you, not judge you, and help you process it and move forward so you can be better for the others around
That's true. Now, Men Cry in the Car definitely is the title of the podcast.
you.
Now, this is where we want to actually share some feelings. I always say this: emotions, feelings, it's not a gender attached to it. It's not like, oh, you being a female, oh, you being, it's not that. We all have masculine and feminine inside of us. That's just what it is. My question to you is, where do you find yourself being the most vulnerable? Like the title is Men Cry in the Car, but where do you find yourself being the most vulnerable? Is it in your car? Is it whatever space where you feel safe enough to share those emotions or to allow yourself to release those emotions?
Um, Honestly, it's during my prayer time.
Mhm.
It's really like, understanding, who God is, understanding He is my Heavenly Father, not to get too spiritual or things like that, but I can talk to Him and understand I can just let it all go. And, He's big enough and strong enough to take to take on what I'm saying and what I'm talking about. So I feel like, my prayer time is talking to God is when I'm most vulnerable.
Hmm. And I didn't tell you that, but you can get as you said. I want to get to spiritual. Absolutely, yes, you can. If that's what it is, if
Okay.
that's what it is, because so many people have come on here, and that that's just what they said, simply because that's the source anyway. God is our source.
Yeah.
Um, and being in that space and knowing you can go to your father and tell him, you know what, you know me, you made me. I don't
Yeah.
have it together. I feeling weak. I feel this. I'm feeling that. That's the space. Outside of that, because I'm glad you have that. Outside of that, do you have a person, a best friend, anyone that you can talk to and be vulnerable with as well?
Oh yeah, yeah. Like during this space now, like creating your good, bro. I've created safe space for men, done workshops and things of that nature where we could just dive in and just talk about any and everything, whether it be talking about their marriage, talking about their finances, talking about their addictions, whatever the case may be. So I have friends. I have friends who I can get in a group chat with and just like if I'm not okay, if I'm not having a good day, or if I'm feeling some type of way for the day, I'm able to be vulnerable. And there's no, like I said, no judgment whatsoever. Like they understand the everyday thing that we go through as being men. So I do have friends and chat groups and best friends who I can be vulnerable with, and it's no judgment whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
And I
And
would
so,
highly recommend that to somebody, and as well get you a group of men or women who you can be vulnerable with, and there's judgment, and it ain't talking about you behind your back after you done told them your business. Like what I'm saying, it's just really like genuine love and people that really care about you and want to see you succeed.
hmm, I'm so glad you said that because a lot of people, period, but definitely men feel like there are not spaces like that until you create them, because I know it's conditioning. We talk about a lot here. It's conditioning thinking you can't share your feelings.
Yeah.
Um, if you do share your feelings, then you're like, what is my friend going to say about me? What's my brother going to say about me? Like, oh, you being a punk? No, it's best that we all share those feelings because then oh, when this happened, when say like a tragic thing happened and you lose someone, it's okay to cry, and it's also okay to cry when something less tragic happens because it is an emotion. And having those spaces, brave and safe spaces, are key to our healing.
Yeah.
So this space that you have, you good, bro. Like, how do people how do people become a part of it? Is it something that they apply to? Is it something that's in person? Is it virtual? Like, what does this space look like?
Um.
And who makes up this space? Like ages.
Well, there's not a age stipulation
Hmm.
because I believe like young and old. You know what I'm saying? We all go through things. I do have community called the Reset Room. It's you can get to it on my website, jmosley.com. And just something you just simple little your name, email, answer a few questions, and then boom, you're inside the Reset Room. Like I said, I do workshops. The You Good Bro summits that I put on. Actually, I'll be doing one here early quarter of 2026. Um, but yeah, so yeah, I haven't done a webinar yet, but I do live workshops, and I do have a community that they can get to on my website.
Okay. So workshops through the website only, or do you do workshops also maybe like on social media anywhere, Facebook, Instagram, any of that? Like, can people find you there as well?
Yeah, they can find me on Instagram at Jay Speaks Legacy. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
that's my main platform. I'm on TikTok as Jay
Mm-hmm.
Mosley. I'm on Facebook, but not as active as the other two platforms.
Mm-hmm.
At Jay Mosley as well, JayMosley. But those you can find me mostly. My content will be on Instagram.
Okay. That's good. That's good to know. Now, Jay, tell me about this. Is it one book or several books that you've written?
I have 3 books that I've written, and I have a few journals as well.
Tell me about the first one and what gave you like the the thought to write it, or the motivation to write, or the inspiration to write the first one.
Well, the first two what came at the same time. It was an
Okay.
affirmation book because I understood as a man thinketh, so is he. So what you think about yourself and what you say to yourself is huge. And when I was in my dark space in 2018 and early 2019, I understood that self talk is everything.
Mhm,
So what you're saying to yourself and how you feel about yourself is key. So I just figured like, hey, if I can create something that a man
mhm,
can say, I'm the head and not the tail. I am worthy. Things of that nature. Just speaking life into yourself that does so much for you, especially if it's done on a repetitive basis. So I created that, and then
mhm,
at the same time, I created the 21-day health journal for men as well. So basically, for 21, they say it takes 21 days to create a habit. So if you're doing something for 21 days and you're constantly checking in on yourself and making sure mentally that you are good, just like if you work out, you know what I'm saying, like you're
mhm,
doing it on a daily, or doing it several times a week. But if you're consistent with it, you're creating a habit just to make sure that you're making yourself a priority.
mhm.
So the 21-day journal for mental health, and then the 30-day affirmation book, those came together. And
Okay.
my last book I created was the Bro Code rewritten. So the Bro
Oh.
Code, yeah, the Bro Code is basically a book that I wrote in regards to just self care, whether you would give yourself self forgiveness, where it also create understanding that community is everything, understanding that you have to take time for yourself,
Mhm,
understanding that you're looking in your mirror and doing that self reflection as well,
mhm.
having hard conversations with yourself. So, and also talk about my fall as well for 2018, the fall that had to happen, because sometimes you have to go through something to get to something. So I don't think I don't think if I did not have that fall, then I don't think I would have ever created the Bro Code or You Good Bro. So I think that sometimes God take us through something to get to the next step. It's not even about us. It's about who we're going
Mhm,
to with unpacking, we're going to
mhm,
purpose with.
mhm.
So yeah.
That is so good when we realize that, because in that moment of tragedy, um, physical pain, emotional pain, having to heal your body or go through healing of your body for 4 to 6 months,
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure there was times like, man, really, Jesus, this what you doing to me? Maybe
Hmm.
you didn't ask like that, but maybe you felt like that. But then understanding you good, bro, was gonna come out of that,
Yeah.
and and the books that were gonna come out of that. But in the moment, you're like, I don't think I want to go through this. You could have gave this to somebody else, and knowing that it was you. Now knowing that it was you,
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, and this
Yeah.
coming out of like you the bro. What is it like? What's the takeaway now? Because it was happening to you. I mean, yeah, happening to you, but now it would happen for you. So all these things could be birthed. So what's the takeaway now, knowing that?
Um, the takeaway now is just basically understanding, like, it's not good to suffer in silence. It's not good for men to be alone. And the takeaway now is more so, the word like when these people be like, um, kinfolk, you're my kinfolk. And when you say kinfolk, it's somebody that you're related to or somebody that you're kin to, somebody you can relate to. So I think now that in order, I went through that then, so I can relate to people now. So so men would be like, bro, I know what it is to be in a dark place. Bro, I know what it is to go through the divorce. I know what it is to grieve. I know what it is to be laid off. I know what it is to be a single father. I know what
Mm-hmm.
it is to make six figures. I know what it
Mm-hmm.
is to lose six figures.
Mm-hmm.
So being kin to something, you're able to relate to it.
Yeah.
So for me to go through all these different things and different events in life, now my kinfolk, I'm able to relate to them and talk to them on that level. Like, I know what you're going through, bro, and have that authority or be a authority in that particular space because this ain't just guess. I'm not guessing or not talking from something that I may
Right.
have read in my life, and so I can relate and talk to it. So the takeaway from that is just understanding that now I have this education in mental wellness and
Mm-hmm.
self care.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So being a voice.
Yep.
And how else do you use your voice? Let's talk about that. You are a speaker
Mhm.
and you're a mental health advocate and wellness person. How else do you find yourself using your voice?
Um. So basically, like now, I be on podcasts. Like I said, I do workshops. I do speak at conferences. I speak at several men's conferences throughout the year. Um, I spoke at the Birmingham Black Men's Conference earlier this year. I spoke at the Men Matter 2 conference this year. I spoken at author panels. I spoke on several different podcasts. So I'm using my voice now, like and also sometimes I go live. So wherever I can, like utilize it. Now I'm looking to do more into the corporate space as well to do workshops.
Mm-hmm.
Because coming from corporate and seeing burnout and things like that, like is good for those leaders that are in that, or even just employees. I ain't necessarily got to be a leader because we
Right.
all go through it, but having a place to where you can talk about what you're going through and don't feel judged, like I think they deserve a platform as well for them to speak about it. So
They do.
yeah, so that's where I'll be speaking.
Yeah. I'm so glad you're able to be vulnerable and transparent with the things that you've gone through in your groups. Is that one of the things where when they join, they stay as long as they want? Is it a membership? Is it like a lifetime? Like, how is your group set up?
Yeah, they can stay as long as they want. There's no membership fee. Like try to be engaging. So we had a dialogue, but also I don't want anyone to feel
Mm-hmm.
like they have to like it's like they're signing their life away. It's just creating that safe space. You know what I'm saying? To let them know, like you have somewhere you can come talk to me, like what's
Mm-hmm.
up, bro? What's good? Or give encouragement, or if we need to pray for you, or if you just need somebody just to encourage you, whatever the case may be, or if you need to encourage somebody else who may be going
Mm-hmm.
through it, just creating that type of community. So no, it's no length of time, it's no membership fee. It's just you coming in and being in the space where where it's no women, it's just us.
For
And
sure.
speak as freely as you need to.
I love that you said that and chuckled. That's serious. Like, I love when men can be together and women are not present.
Mm.
I actually encourage that like all the time. I'm like, ladies, leave your men alone and let them talk.
Yeah.
Stop trying to have a word in what they have to say. This is what I want to ask. This is what I want to ask of you.
Mm.
I want you to use your voice again right now. You're on the podcast with me, and I appreciate you being here. What you and I don't know, we don't know who's going to see this. We don't
Mm.
know who's going to share this. We don't know anything, how it's going to fall on the laps or the hands of the men that need to see it of any age. Knowing that, though, what is something you feel that that man, that young man, that old man, doesn't matter, that man needs to hear? How would you encourage them? What are the words you think they need right now in everything that's going on or whatever may be going on in their life? What would you say to that person right now?
I would say to them that Superman was Clark Kent. I would say to them that I understand, like, you're being pulled this way, you're being pulled that way. So many people are depending on you. So many people are asking you for stuff. Your phone is steady ringing. People are in need or just of your services and things of that nature. But I understand every time you put on that cape, understand that's the very thing that's choking you. I understand that it's okay sometimes to put the cape down and take some time out for you. I understand that Lois Lane didn't fall in love with Superman. She fell in love with Clark Kent. So it's okay just to be a guy for a second. It's okay to put the cape down and stop putting out all the fires. It's okay just to go out with the guys, go shoot some pool, go play some golf, go to the gym, go journal, go out to the bar and watch the game with your boys and have a drink. It's okay to understand that you can put down your cape. That's what I would say to them.
First of all, as my children would say, when you said, when you put that cape on, that's the thing that's choking you. And then you followed up and you said, Lois Lane didn't fall in love with Superman. She fell in love with Clark Kent. I hope whoever needed to hear that will really take heed to those words, because those are, man, those are the truest words that I heard today. The truest words that I've had today. That cape you put on is the thing that's choking you. You just freed somebody. You just freed this man. He doesn't have to be so conditioned that he has to be a provider, a protector. All that, he can be himself, and that woman can fall in love. Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, and just
Hey,
understand this too, because you said we could be spiritual a little bit. When God put Adam in the garden and he showed him everything and he had Adam name it and he put him in the garden, he didn't put him in the garden to work. Everything was already laid out for him. So he just wanted him to nurture what he had. You know what I'm saying? Like he just wanted him just to be
yeah.
the overseer of what's already created. Now it does say in the Bible if a man don't work, he don't eat, and I get
Mhm.
that. But understand that it is some places where you can just dwell in what you already have, and you don't have to go out and just work all the time.
Yeah.
So it's okay to be, it's like I said, it's okay to be Clark Kent sometimes, but just
Yeah.
take the cape off, man. Just enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Self care is needed. It's so much needed. It's
Yeah.
necessary.
It's a necessity. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it is. Yeah. That's a word for the day. Okay, so Jay, I know you talk about speaking and everything. Are there upcoming events that you have that you can discuss or talk about? Is there another book on the horizon? Like, what do you have going on so we can support you? People can reach out and like find you. What's happening? What's on the calendar?
What's on the calendar now? I am looking at spaces to put together my first men's retreat. I want to put in the first quarter of 2026. I want to put on something where men can come and get poured into, get fed, and just enjoy themselves and create a safe space for a day or two where we can come and let our hair down and just relax and just get some information for the speakers that I'll be able to bring in. Get some good food, get some laughs, get that brotherhood going. That's coming in 2026. I do have another workbook that I'm working on called the 90-Day Reset. Where basically we're focusing on your faith, your family, your finances, your fitness, and your your mental health as well. So you are, tapping into those things and you're being intentional about it, over a 3-month period where you can just tap into yourself and make sure you're doing daily little tasks to keep yourself on task, to make sure you're just being intentional about tapping into your family, tapping into your faith, tapping into your finance, tapping into your fitness, making sure those things are a necessity.
Mhm.
um yeah, that's what I'm working on right now. I may be speaking at a conference in December. It hasn't
Mhm.
been confirmed just yet, but
Yep.
it works, so fingers crossed.
For sure.
Yeah, so that's what's going on with me right now.
Absolutely. And let us know where we can get your books.
You can get my books on my website at www.jmosley.com, and that's JAYMOSELY.com. All my books are on my website.
Okay. I'll put that in the chat so they can get that too. All right. Jay, thank you so very much for being my guest today. Thank you for sharing just a little bit of part of you because I know there's so much more that we could talk about. I do want you to just like leave one more note for us um, before we end, because usually when I end, I'll say, "Men, I see you, I hear you, and I support you." Until next time. But I feel like today I want you to leave. I want you to give the word, and we'll end on your word. So, what do you have for us?
Mm, that's awesome. um, First off, before I even say that, I want to thank you for what you're doing. I want to thank you for you putting together. I want to thank you for being obedient to, your idea, to your calling, to you putting together this platform for people to, hear different voices, different people from different walks of life, so they can identify. Because men do cry in the car, you know. So that title alone is so dope. But so I just want to thank you first of all for allowing me to be on your platform, trusting me, what I'm saying, to come on here and just, share a few words.
Thank you.
Um, but to close, I would say after everything that we spoke about today, I just want to let you guys know, like, really, like, it's biblical, you guys. It's not good for men to be alone. So if you're going through something, if you are feeling weary, if you're tired, if you just, like, feel like you're at your wits' end, reach out to somebody, talk to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, reach out to somebody who loves you, cares about you, get in that community, or someone that can, make you feel safe. Because I see it so many brothers just like get to a certain point and they just give up. 80% of 80% of suicides that are committed by men, and that's why this space is you good, bro. Is so important to me because I want to prevent that. I want to make sure that we create the spaces where men can just come and just feel um, safe to talk. And it's okay to talk. It's not talking. It's not being soft. So with that being said, like if you feel like you just need someone to reach out to, please do so. Therapy and like get you a therapist. I like to highly recommend that. And and I always want to know, are you good, bro? If you're not, reach out to me. My inbox is always open. So thank
I
you.
love that. I love that. Thank you so much. And we're going to end with that. Everyone, make sure that you share this live out for those who watch the replay. Come in and like ask your questions, leave your comments, follow Jay. Let people know about, are you good, bro? Ask yourself that question. And if you ain't good, bro, you really need to be reaching out to Jay because he understands. He definitely has been there in situations. That support group is necessary. And like, I just appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all coming on, subscribing, sharing all the things. And until next time, we will see you with Men Cry in the Car.